All right, I have another video for you, and this video is going to dive back into the issue with Jazz Jennings from the show, or the network, should I say, TLC, The Learning Channel. And obviously he has a show called I Am Jazz. This show documents as a real-time reality show type thing, where it documents the transition period, the transgendering of the young man Jazz Jennings. And so this video has a bit of a little graphic nature to it, and so the language can be a little bit overwhelming, to say the least. So what I want to do was, in this video, I wanted to sort of give a little bit more detailed about what happens with transgenders, right? You know, we know about the hormone suppression pills. We know about the top down surgery. As we know that Jazz Jennings actually have done already. He went through the top down surgery where he had his genitalia removed, his normal biological genitalia removed, and now has a makeshift vagina. And so this individual's a natural genitalia is completely gone and has been altered. And so in this video, we get a chance to hear what the mother of Jazz Jennings does, or has to do with Jazz Jennings, in order to maintain this particular surgical operation, to keep it in, I guess, in the shape that it needs to be in. So that's what this video is about. And then I'm going to have a commentary from Tim Pool, who is the host of Timcast, a rather popular YouTube channel that deals with cultural things like this and political things of that nature. And so first, let's do this video here and sort of let you know what's going on. Once again, this is pretty graphic. This is pretty intense. And so if you're not ready to hear this, I suggest you go on to the next video, but this is pretty intense. So check this out.
But with her, I'm worried about like her mental well-being and her dilation. The minute she leaves my house, we have a dilation problem.
That is a concern. When you don't have that watchful eye, they tend to go back to old patterns.
I have woken Jazz out of a dead sleep and taken the dilator and put the lubrication on it and said, here, you take this and you put it in your vagina. If not, I will. But Jazz is bad, even when I'm home once a day. I would be so mad if she goes away to college and that thing seals up. I will wring her neck. Can you imagine? No, I can't imagine.
And so you see that there, the mother, will have a super duper fit if Jazz doesn't put the dilator in his makeshift vagina and dilate it. In other words, to keep it open. My understanding is that because it's not a real biological genitalia, female genitalia, it will begin to heal. It will try to seal itself up, because in real actuality, it's really a wound. Right? It's really a wound that's open, and sort of everything has been sort of fandangled in there and finessed and changed. So if Jazz does not put this dilator inside of himself, that it will begin to close. It will close up. But Tim Pool gives a way better explanation than I can give with this. He gives a much better explanation than I could ever give in this. So I do desire for Tim Pool to sort of lay out what exactly this means, right? So let's listen to what Tim Pool has to say concerning this.
Plainly and inoffensively as possible.
But all right.
I am not going to explain this to people in a way that will invite invective or aggression. I will just try and keep the language plain. This is the story about Jazz Jennings, a biological male who at the age of 3 was determined to be transgender by Jazz's family. Began social transition around 7, puberty blockers, hormone blockers. At the age of 17 as a minor, Jazz received a sex change operation. They refer to as bottom surgery. Typically, an adult male receives...
At what age?
17 as a minor. Typically, people receive what's called a penile inversion vaginoplasty if they're adults. But because Jazz underwent puberty blockers, Jazz did not develop any physical function in terms of sexual components. This resulted in severe complications and multiple surgeries where they had to take stomach lining to create the inside of what is a permanent wound in the pelvis of this young male. The purpose for which is so that a man who is attracted to Jazz can insert themselves for sexual gratification. After the surgery, because the wound tries to seal itself, you have to introduce what's called a dilator every day, which is a device that cranks the wound open with lubrication. This is the story of a mother on the Learning Channel, a major corporate cable channel, explaining how she wakes up her biologically male child in the middle of the night and says, stick this in your wound and crank it open or I will. And then goes on to say, if she leaves and that wound closes, I will wring her neck. Tell me this is not moral decay when on cable television, this, which I believe to be purely criminal child abuse, is celebrated. I see that and I just say, we have reached a severe state of moral decay.
It's a kind of, it sounds.
Agreed. 100% agreed, right? It is absolutely moral decay. This is the absolute pinnacle of depravity in most regards, right? Where a mother is willing to take her 2-year-old child, impose on this 2-year-old child that this child said that he wants to be a girl. At the age of 7, begin to give this child puberty blockers that suppresses the hormonal changes that are natural to a biological boy, suppresses them, and then at the age of 17 proceeds to push this child or manipulate this child to have bottom surgery. If that is not child abuse, that is absolutely incredible. Just as Tim Pool has said, it's incredible that that's not considered child abuse for this to happen. And it is incumbent upon us as Christians to be, once again, to be able to call this stuff out and call it what it is. It is absolutely child abuse. And as I stated earlier, this language is pretty grotesque. It's hurtful. It is vile. And to think that a mother is saying that she will wring her son's neck if he allows the wound to close, she'll wring his neck. So you see the issue is really the mother. The mother is really the spear in that arrow, the spearhead. She is really leading the charge in this, right? She is really pushing this type of stuff, right? And she's got the whole family trailing right along with her. And it's unfortunate that the father is nowhere near involved. I'm trying to understand, does the father really in his heart approve of this? Because a lot of times the father is not even in the scene. It seems they focus a lot on the mother, Jazz's mother, and obviously she's approving of it. And so it's once again, as Christians, this is a Christian worldview issue right here. This is a gospel issue right here. This is something that as Christians we should continue to call out and not hedge back on it. The moment that we get comfortable is the moment that they begin to continue. That is the moment that they think it's okay. So this is why, as content creators, as Christian content creators, it's important for us to use our platforms to glorify God and to make sure that we're calling sin what it is, no matter what the repercussions are. It is absolutely, once again, devastating to hear exactly what Jazz Jennings goes through on a day-to-day basis. This is every day that he has to do this. He has to shove a dilator inside of himself every day for the rest of his life. He will have to shove this thing inside of him and crank it open and make sure that wound stays open. If that's not heartbreaking as a Christian to you, if that's not heartbreaking in general as a human, let alone a Christian, man, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say to you. The depravity of humanity's heart is absolutely seen in these type of circumstances. And it just continues to blow my mind to see a mother saying this about her son, where it's actually the mother's fault and the father's fault that this child is even going through this. At the age of 2, remember, at the age of 2, the mother came to the conclusion that her son, at the age of 2, barely can talk, barely can rationale, understand what's going on. At the age of 2, she has concluded definitively that her son wanted to be a girl. That's evil at all levels and absolutely psychotic. Absolutely psychotic. All right, so that's all I have for you for this video. If you have yet to do so, make sure you are subscribed to The Gospel Truth. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss out any interviews, debates, or commentaries. All right, take care. God bless.